Hey, what's up? It's me, that awkward Evan, once again. Yeah, so just thought I'd do a what's on my bookshelf video because I said I was going to do it my last one in my London haul. And yeah, just thought I'd get cracking. So I'm going to start off with my current read, which is Miranda Hart's Is It Just Me? Because I'm a huge fan of hers. Obviously, I said that when I bought the book. Peggy and me, which obviously I'm going to read after this. Yeah, I just love her, and I just love her sitcom. Just love her, and I think she's so funny. That's my current read. Next is probably the biggest pile, and you can probably see it here behind me. It is the Harry Potter books, and we're going to start off the original. They're all first edition. So we have the Philosopher's Stone, the Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, the Goblet of Fire, the Order of the Phoenix. It's very hefty. The Half-Blood Prince, the Deathly Hallows, and then we have the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child play script book, and then we have the script for Fantastic Beasts. But then we also have these big books, which is Harry Potter colouring book, the Making a Fantastic Beast Inside the Magic, and the character vault that I showed you in my London haul. So just put them over there. They are so heavy. Yeah, so where else do I start? I'm going to start with another series, I guess, which would be this one, the Divergent series. Now, I read the first two books, Divergent and Insurgent, amazing, love them. Allegiant is the worst book I've ever read in my entire life. The ending, just what they've done with the character, Veronica Ross did with the character is just not good at all. And yeah, just gonna do that. Might as well. This has fallen on me, so I might as well do it. Which is biographies and autobiographies, celebrity ones anyway. So we have Lauren Graham's Talking as Fast as I Can, and if you don't know who Lauren Graham is, she's the star of Parenthood and Gilmore Girls. She plays Lorelai Gilmore, and I love Gilmore Girls. I'm obsessed. I bought this when I was about 16. Talisa's Honest. Same with the Cheryl book, Cheryl, My Story. Bought this when I was 13. Miley Cyrus, Miles to Go. I still have it on my shelf just because I love her. And then I'm a huge Little Mix fan, so we have Little Mix, Our World, and their first book as well, so yeah. Next, what else is there? Another series of books that are staring at me right now is the Pretty Little Liars books. Now, if you're familiar with the TV series, you know, so there's the first book there. They've all just got jumbled up right now, so I have the original 8 here. And they just kept on. I think it's like 15 there or something, which I just couldn't continue to read. It gets to a point where you like stop. Same with the show, I think. What else? We have the Hunger Games books, which are amazing. Love them so much. The only thing, Mockingjay ripped me apart emotionally, I think. So we have Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay, and I love those books. They're amazing. Yeah, so many books. Why do I have so many books? Okay, so we're going to start off. I've kind of put these in one pile because these are just books I didn't enjoy, bar Allegiant, because that was part of a series. This is a series I started, which is The Maze Runner. I kind of started it, but I started it after I read Allegiant, after I finished the Divergent series. So, The Maze Runner and the Scorch Trials, I just couldn't get into it. It's just very similar to like the Hunger Games or Divergent, which are very similar together. Then there's this. I read this after I saw the movie The Duff. The book just isn't good because it's completely different to the film. The film in itself is a good thing, but this just isn't good because the main character, is just portrayed as weak and just vulnerable completely. Yeah. So these two now are my favorite books ever, which is Stephen King's Carrie and Patrick Ness' Monster Calls. They're just both amazing. Just the story and how they're written is just brilliant. Now, we have all gone through this phase of the Twilight phase. So we have Twilight and New Moon, and then we have Eclipse and Breaking Dawn. We've all gone through the phase. We all have Don't Lie. Watchers, do not lie to me right now. We have Irish books here, like books written by an Irish writer who we all know as Mrs. Brown, which is the mammy and the granny. There's one missing because the granny is the last one. It's a trilogy, so the granny is the last one. And Brendan O'Carroll, you know, from Mrs. Brown's Boys, as Mrs. Brown, wrote them, and the mammy is brilliant. It's hilarious. I read it in one night. It was so funny. Next is this pile of books, which is just kind of random. Paper Towns by John Green. I had The Fault in Our Stars, but I don't know where it's gone. I think I lost it or something. I don't know, but I probably need to buy a new one. And Paper Towns is a brilliant book. I read it in 3 nights. Amazing book. What they did with the film, though, like, I like the film up until the end because they changed the ending. But read that if you want to find out what I mean. Another book called Say Her Name, which is a really, really good book. It's really dark. It's about a girls' boarding school. It's really scary, like very paranormal. This book I bought in England, Jack the Ripper. I haven't read it though. I need to read it. I have like a pile here I need to read. It should be in that pile, but I don't know where to put it because I tried to sort the pile into an order. Yeah, and it's someone telling the story of Jack the Ripper. Someone who experienced it, or someone who's like anti-experienced it or something. The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. And it's a story that kind of has followed me everywhere. It's weird. I read the book and I've seen the movie so many times, and I've seen the play 3 times now, and it's like I think it's my favourite play ever, and it's just amazing. It's amazing on stage, and the book is the same basically, but it's so dark and so good. What am I saying? We have books by Stephen King. Now some of these I have read, but some of these need to be in the to read pile. So we have Cujo, which is about a dog, and I need to read that because I've heard things and I love dogs, and that's not cool. Mr. Mercedes, still need to read that. Yeah, still need to read it. Pet Sematary, which I also still need to read. I bought these books, and you know, I just still need to read them. And Pet Sematary, I know the story of Pet Sematary. I just need to read the book. Salem Top, I have read this. So dark, so scary, so enjoyable. I loved it. If you love dark stuff and you have scary stuff in Stephen King, go for it. I had Misery. I don't know where Misery's gone. It wasn't on the shelf. It's gone anyway, but that Misery's a great book by Stephen King as well. The Shining, I attempted to read. I need to read it again just because I don't know where. It was just like a weird time to start reading this, and I couldn't really get into it, but I will get into it because I do like the movie. And The Stand, which is hefty, very big book. And yeah, I'm gonna start reading this soon. I have to read a load of these books. Now finally we have the to read pile. What do we have? As I showed this in London Hall, Miranda Hart's Peggy and Me. Yeah, I just want to start reading that because I love Miranda Hart. Obviously I'm reading Is It Just Me, so after Is It Just Me, Peggy and Me will come along. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I also presented in London Hall. I'm going to start reading this trilogy because someone recommended it to me and said you really have to stick with it, and it is really dark. It's the Millennium Trilogy, as I'm just reading right now. Someone said it's really dark and so good. The Couple Next Door. This was on sale, and someone's like, you have to read this book. It's so good. And I will, and I really do want to read this book, The Couple Next Door, because by the back of it, it sounds really dark and stuff. So if anyone actually knows anything about that, can you just tell me? But don't tell me like what happens. The Rest of Us Just Live Here, Patrick Ness. Obviously, I said that A Monster Calls is one of my favourite books, and I want to read the rest of his books, and the rest of Us Just Live Here. I read the back, and I was like, that sounds really intriguing and interesting. Right. I attempted to start reading this but couldn't get into it, and I don't want to watch the movie up until I've read what happens, because it did really have my attention up until a certain point. The Girl in the Train. I really want to get back into that, but I don't know where it will fall into. I have it marked here where I left it, but I think I'll just start it again, because that happens with me sometimes. 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. I loved the TV series. I bought this about a year ago, but I never actually read it. So I need to actually read that, because apparently they're very different. The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Now everyone has recommended this movie to me because they know I love like Emma Watson's in it, and they know I love Emma Watson, and apparently it's a good story. But I want to read this book because I like to read things before like I go and watch a movie sometimes if I know it's a book. And then finally we have a celeb autobiography, Anna Kendrick, Scrappy Little Nobody. Anna Kendrick, you'll know from Twilight or Pitch Perfect or Into the Woods. and I really want to read this because I love her. And yeah. So that was what's on my bookshelf, minus a few things because they seem to have disappeared. I don't know why. I just tend to put things on shelves and they disappear. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and keep watching my awkward videos where they're so bad. I know. But thanks for watching.